As you read through Matthew's introduction to Jesus, one of the things you encounter very early and very often is Matthew's declaration that historical events often happen in order to fulfill historical prophecy. It's a big deal to Matthew, and he wants it to be a big deal to you, the reader. Briefly, a few examples. After describing an angelic visit to Joseph in a dream, the narrator, Matthew, explains why these events happened. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which means God with us. Then, after the visit of the Magi, Matthew describes another angelic visit. An angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "Rise, take the child and his mother, and flee to Egypt and remain there until I tell you. For Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him." And he rose and took the child and his mother by night and departed to Egypt. And he remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet. "Out of Egypt I called my son." Seems like a lot of bother just to fulfill some dusty old prophecy, don't you think? Matthew does this again in just a few more verses regarding Joseph's family returning to his hometown of Nazareth. An angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, "Rise, take the child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who sought the child's life are dead." And he went, and he lived in a city called Nazareth, so that what was spoken by the prophets might be fulfilled, and he would be called a Nazarene. Matthew repeats this process throughout the rest of his gospel, hoping the reader will get the idea that these events are preordained by God, foretold, personally directed, and always fulfilled. No divine prophecy goes unfulfilled. There must be an entire department in heaven that oversees such things. The DBPF, Divine Bureau of Prophecy Fulfillment. The Fulfillment Center, for short. The question that comes to my mind is, what exactly is the miracle of fulfilled prophecy? As we read Matthew, we might conclude that the miracle of prophecy is getting all the people involved to do exactly the right things at exactly the right time. We see a very busy angel chasing around the countryside, arriving just in time to inform the characters of their lines and the director's instructions, thereby making sure that all prophecy is carried out to a T. But what if Joseph had said, "No thanks," and gone off to find another, more suitable bride? But as we read the other parts of Scripture, we don't see angels arriving to inform or manipulate the people involved. We might see obscure prophecies we don't even recognize until after they are fulfilled. That doesn't seem that miraculous either. While this might be one of those kinds of knowing that produces more questions than answers, it is clear that God intends for the fulfilled prophecy of Scripture to impress us and drive us to worship Him. What is clear is that God has a plan. The plan is foreknown, the plan is foretold, and God will use all the wisdom and power of heaven to make certain that His plan is fulfilled. All the sinners on earth and all the demons of hell and all the horrors of history cannot interfere with the plan of God. Past history demonstrates the dependability of the prophecies of God. This should give us great hope, knowing the promises and wonders of the prophecy of God regarding future history. Through the witness of prophecy past and the promise of prophecy future, we are being invited into knee-bending, eye-widening, jaw-dropping worship.